Man, I just got downstairs after a long day of watching ball. God, it just feels so good to get a win, dude. Playoffs are out the door. Nothing good's coming for me, but it's week 10, and this was the first time I have won a fantasy football game in this league since week 2. For a second there, I thought it would never happen. And we're sitting here Sunday night. No primetime sweat, no gimmicks, no extra. Done. Now, did Tony barely put up 100 points? All of his players have already played? Yes. Was it abysmal on his part? Yes. But my squad kind of did okay. Tyler Shuck might be a guy. Travion Henderson finally played well. God. That's all I can do is just smile. We're here. We won a game. I don't know. I would love to give a pump-up speech let's just win. Let's just live the rest of them and make it to the offs. And it's probably not going to happen. But let's get out of the bye week in the losers bracket. Let's do as much damage as we can. Let's finish this year with some sort of dignity and pride. Can we get Jaden Daniels back? We'll get Mahomes after bye. God, just feels good to win, man. I'm just gonna sit here and just soak this in. I needed it. I thought for a long time we weren't gonna see a win ever again. We did it. I needed it. I'm also sorry to Tony. Tony needed this win. The whole point of the Lamar trade was for him to make a playoff push. Fuck you, Tony. Man, just checking in on a victory Monday.
Ron, my guy, finally getting back in the win column after 7 weeks, after 2 months of losing football. Finally going to get a win up there. Ron's about to put up 151 points. Best performance is week 2, I'm pretty sure. So shout out Ron.
Ron beat Tony. Ron absolutely dominates Tony. And Ron, he needed this win. He needed this win to get back on track. He was last in the power rankings. Team was on a complete downswing. This is big for Ron. I'm happy for him. And Travion Henderson could be here. He might have arrived. That is perfect for Ron. He needed that. His running backs looked really bad.
Ron's going to go to 3-7. I don't think he has much time to catch up to Joe. What is there, 4 more weeks in the season? He's done. He's cooked. He would have to finish 7-7, and Joe would have to drop the last 4 games, which doesn't look like that's going to happen with how Joe's lineup is. But you never know. Maybe Ron could sneak in there.
We beat Tony. I might have said something foul towards Tony last night at the end of my confession, but tensions were high. He needs JMO to lose bad tonight versus JL. Looking at my team, just stoked to get a W. Tyler Shuck kind of looks good. Henderson breakout. ETN looks good. Nico Collins may be better with Davis Mills. I don't know. Lad McConkey went crazy last night. It didn't even matter. Now, here's actually something I wanted to speak on. And this is what it really annoys me, is my tight end position. And I wanted to speak on this because I got roasted in the YouTube comments for dropping Harold Fannin. And I wanted to give my my reasoning. These benches are so shallow. And this isn't a complaint. It's a weird quirk within the league that we run really shallow benches, which means... and something that I need to file away for next year, spending big like the way that JMO did, the way that I did on both Dalton Kincaid and Harold Fannin is kind of dumb. Because in this league, I think tight ends get the most hurt by the format of super deep lineup with a really shallow bench. Makes it so the tight end makes up 1/9 of your starting lineup, and then you can't really afford to hold more than one. So every week, there are startable guys on the waivers. Of course, I say all of that to say Dalton Kincaid's bum ass is hurt again. So I will say now I'm in a bit of a spot here where I kind of wish I had Harold Fannin. If Kincaid's hamstring injury is going to keep him out next week, which I would assume it will, it now makes things really tough because I'm going to have to drop somebody to get a new tight end in here. But again, there's no shortage of tight ends. I can go to Dalton Schultz. I can go to TJ Hawkinson. But yeah, that was just my thought process on dropping Harold Fannin. For as much as I love Harold Fannin, I just think holding on to 2 tight ends in this format is tough because there's just going to be good tight ends on the waiver wire every single week. So I do wish Tony well.
Everybody said in the preview Tony was going to win, and then he lost.
Tony, just like me, couldn't even get 100 points. Bad week for both of us.
Tony getting an L was massive. It was amazing being in that Airbnb together and just watching his team just get dismantled by Ron.
Tony has another under 100-point week. James Cook just doesn't find the end zone. Lamar Jackson has a wishy-washy game. A lot of just stuff kind of going on here.
Around the rest of the league, you have Joe beating Nate. This is what I said last week. I thought Joe's team is good. He just simply had Jahmyr Gibbs dud with Baker Mayfield on bye. He looks fine.
Joe, dominant win over Nate. Absolutely dominant.
And the other person moving to a very good record is Joe at 7-3. His team pops off. Jahmyr Gibbs goes for 38. Running backs are the story of this week. Kyron Williams goes off. George Kittle goes off. Yeah, his team is looking very, very good right about now.
Joe dropped 165. Gosh dang. 165. My goodness. Not looking forward to playing Drake London in the playoffs, that's for sure.
All right, Monday morning. Not much to take away from my game with Nate. Knew last week going into this game, Nate's like whole team's on a bye. So good news is team best performance of the year so far. Even though we had some dud performances from wide receivers. So if we play like this, we got a chance at the chip. That's for sure. If we come out swinging like this, we got a chance at the chip. Led by our first 3 round picks, all showing up for like the first time collectively. I feel like that's the first time that all 3 of them went off together. Not like really went off, but like Drake London 24 points, Kyron 22 points, Jahmyr Gibbs 38 points. Like that's what you want to see. And then followed it up with Kittle. That's my my top 4 picks, 23 points. That's how it should be. And then Baker putting up 22 like he does. Areas for concern. Michael Penix. Every time I watch him play football, I want to fucking have an aneurysm. I'm pulling a Woody Johnson right now, talking shit about my quarterback. But he's been good. He's been good. Put up 10 points, which is not great, but he gets the job done. The area for concern is my other 2 wide receivers. I mean, Sutton's been pretty consistent. I'm not like worried that he's not the number 1, but that's another game of under double-digit points. So he's been super consistent this year. Just a little worried. And then DK is like, watching the Steelers offense is, especially last night, was brutal. Watching them try to play football was hard to watch. Little concern there, but 165 points in a week. It feels good. Now, if I just win one more game, I'm almost positive I just clinch the playoffs. Even if I lose the next 3 games against my division mates, I think Ron won this week. Shout out Ron. He broke those rocks. He'll be 3-7. I'll be 7-3. We'll have 4 games left. So he could tie me if I just lose out. But if I win next week, it doesn't matter. So yeah, we just got to get our team cohesively just firing on all cylinders. So when we go to the playoffs, we put up performances like this, because you're going to need to have 3 weeks of these kind of performances if we want to win. So from a matchup standpoint, no takeaways. Nate's team wasn't even fully there.
Nate, the top of my division, lost. Love to see that. He dropped just under 100 points. Just tough week for Nate, I guess.
Nate with a pretty bad week.
Nate's team has been very up and down. He has some bad weeks. He's had many weeks under 100 points, but he's still got a very strong team. I think he's going to be a top contender. And luckily for Nate, he isn't in the strongest division, so he's still in a good spot to be in the playoffs.
I think Nate got his ass kicked, which I just love to see now.
All right, Nate here. We are going to catch an L, but all things considered, I am feeling about as positive about that L as one can. I might have the lowest score this week. We said coming in by Mageddon, it was going to be a tall order to even compete. Joe is going to score the highest points this week, so it doesn't matter. If I put up 160, that might not have beat him anyway. He's projected for 174 right now, so I will take an L like that every time. If you're going to put up the lowest amount of points, you want to play someone who you had no chance of beating anyway. All things considered, we are feeling pretty good despite the loss. And that is mainly because, assuming things break right, everyone else in our division is going to lose too. All right, Sexy, lock him in for an L already.
Sexy's going to, they can put up 100 points.
Sexy P is going to lose here.
The honorable judge, sexual Jared Patterson, losing to Unk Steen. Yeah, it's not looking good for the executioner. He actually just changed his name this morning to Executed, which makes more sense.
Sexy falls again to 2-8.
All right, I think it's safe to call it. The executioner has been executed. It was a good run. We did our best. We had a nice little window there where there was some hope that we would come back and make a playoff run, but it fell short. We've now lost 3 games in a row, I believe. This one to Nicholas. And I mean, everybody was ass. It's kind of like how it was at the beginning of the year. I mean, Kamani Vidal wasn't bad, but everyone else sucks. Tyler Warren, I mean, we were in Germany. He was doing pretty well for me. He made a few big plays, but the playoff chances are not mathematically eliminated, but it would be very unlikely for us to make a run here. Now, there isn't only bad news. We did get some good news today. Joe Burrow has started practicing yet again. And if he comes back before the toilet bowl, I don't think I've got the worst team. I believe in my team to win one of those last 3 weeks in that scenario and not come in last. That's basically what we're playing for at this point. Unfortunately, with Ron winning, I am in a bottom 2 spot, which I don't want to be in. The team didn't do enough. Achan popped off, making big plays for Nick.
Unk beat the fuck out of Sexy. Sexy team sucks.
Youngstein still rolling here. Rico Dowdle came back to earth. 15.3 points, thank God.
Unk beat Sexy.
Nick is going to win this week.
Nick's Rico Dow play, his floor game right now, I should say floor game when he's getting the full volume, is like 10 to 15 points. That being a floor now for a guy you picked up for 45 fab is fantastic. Devon Achan goes for 40. The rest of the team, when your guy drops 40, doesn't need to do much. His team didn't do much, but it did enough to get the job done there.
All right, I just got in the door from Germany. It doesn't matter. Germany, USA, Italy, outer space. I'm going to fucking dominate you, Sexy. It doesn't matter. We put the smackdown on Judge Sexual Patterson. We made him change his name from the Sexecutioner to fucking Executed. I am tired, number one. Number two, we put this week up despite not having any of our wide receivers. I put Pop fucking Douglas in my lineup, and Devon Achan said, it doesn't matter how small I am, I'm going to put the entire team in a backpack and carry you up a mountain. Matt Stafford for MVP, Devon Achan as my GOAT. Rico Dowdle is just Uncle Rico. I would have him adopt me if that was illegal. I don't know. Nothing else matters. We win. Let's fucking go. What else happened in the rest of the league? I think Jack won. Like, we literally watched Jonathan Taylor have like one of the best fantasy days in the history of planet Earth while we were there in person on my fucking Falcons head top.
Jack looks like he's going to take down Adam here. The problem with Jack's team kind of finally arose where it's just like the wide receivers aren't good to rely on. But again, when you have 50 points from your Jonathan Taylor, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
Jack obviously already locked himself into a playoff spot. It's just going to come down to if he can win out the rest of the season.
Jack, if you were going to get Jack, it's fun. It's actually hilarious that in a week where JT drops a 49 piece, that this was probably Jack's lowest scoring week in a long time. You had Evan Ingram in the Superflex spot over Mac Jones. That's bad managing. No, I don't want to come at. I'm 3-7, so I can't really talk. But that is a goof move to throw Evan Ingram in the Superflex spot.
Jack, at one point, his projections were like he was going to lose, but then Trey McBride put up 27 points, so that really helped him. This is like the type of performances you're going to need to like beat Jack. Jonathan Taylor put up fucking 50 piece. Chris McCaffrey put up 17, and then Bijan put up like 10. So, like, those are the weeks you got to win.
Another happy victory Monday. It's late Monday night, but I'm calling this one a W. That means we've won 9 in a row now. Some poor management on my side. There's obviously no excuses here, but managerially, do I need to make better moves? 100%. And you start to see a little bit of that complacency seeking in. And we need to prevent that. We need to stomp on that and knock that out of the park. So that's not going to happen going forward. But we do still secure the dub in large part thanks to the GOAT, Jonathan Taylor. Only 10 points from Bijan this week. Wide receivers, off the top of my head, might have combined for 10 points themselves. But when you get the 50 burger from JT, you're going to have a pretty good shot at it. And hopefully Kyler doesn't come back this season because Trey McBride with Jacoby Brissett. McBride is the highest scoring wide receiver and tight end in points per game. Number 2 is Rashee Rice. So I had that viral tweet go, which shows the team. You guys know the team at this point. But I'm not going to bring up the 3-headed monsters. I'm going to ride with McBride, ride with May. He's been fantastic. And we're on to the next week. And also, just real quick proposal. Next year, let's make sure we get that divisions are out. And we'll just do, so it should be the top 5 best records and then Gut. Gut should get an auto spot because he kind of got screwed this year. And congrats to Lil Bro on just dominating the league. Points for 3rd in the league. That's huge stuff.
Yeah, Adam went against Jonathan Taylor this week. That 49.6 points, Jonathan Taylor. Oh my fucking God, bro.
If Devontae Smith puts up 25 points, Adam beats Jack, which is big because Jack hasn't lost since week 1.
Adam just had a rough week for the most part. Like Hunter Henry and your flex giving you 1 point. Yeah, it just kind of stinks. Especially when you did Joku there that could have got you an extra 10, which would have made this matchup a lot more interesting tonight.
All right, so week 10 here is a really crazy one. Obviously, as we know, the BDG boys are in Berlin for this game, and it's a huge game actually for my matchup with Jack. He has what are, 3 absolute hammers going at the moment in that game with Jonathan Taylor. He's got Pittman, obviously, on the Colts as well, and Bijan Robinson. So paying pretty close attention to the game. And actually, somewhere late in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter, somewhere like that, Taylor's sitting at 20, which, that's kind of par for the course. Jonathan Taylor just continually eats every single week. And then you got Bijan only at 10, and Pittman only had 1 catch at that point. He's got 1 point. So I'm looking like, damn, I'm actually, do this again. I start convincing myself I might be in a matchup, right? With 8-1, 3-headed monster of all people. So it's looking pretty good. And at noon, we actually do on South Harmon, we start answering some start-sit questions. So, but all that to say, Jonathan Taylor was at legitimately about 20 points when I sat down at noon. All for him to finish with basically a 50 burger. Guy more than doubled his points in the fourth quarter and in overtime. The entire time trying to answer start-sit questions, it's literally, the game's going on. So I'm kind of coming out of that thinking, all right, by the time I can even watch the 1 o'clock window, we're cooked. So 1 o'clock games happen. I've got Rome going. I think K. Dotton going. So I actually had some decent performances. Nothing too crazy. So we're into the 4 o'clock window, and it's, a tight projection race. I'm like, damn it, am I really in this thing? Do I want to convince myself to get invested, pretend like we're in this matchup? Of course we do. It's what we do every week. Maybe I am the idiot league mate. Maybe this league was nicknamed after me. Because here I am, right? And the matchup projection is about dead even in the 4 o'clock window. And I convinced myself that, Marv going head-to-head, toe-to-toe with Trey McBride. Yeah, we could do that. We can do this with, Jacoby Brissett in there. And then, it felt like Marv was struggling. And definitely there were some catches I thought he should have had. And Romo and Nance, they kind of make it well known at a certain point that Marv has 2 catches on 11 targets. And at that moment, it really hit me. And, it dawned on me. You really are the idiot league mate. You really thought Marv stood a chance here. Marv has been, honestly, probably the most frustrating fantasy asset that I can remember having in a long time. All that to say, somehow, some way, we're going right back. We're going right back to the well. We're convincing ourselves that we have a chance. So I have Smitty going tonight. Jack is done. He's in the books. Basically, here's what we do know. Smitty, he's had 3 weeks as a top 10 receiver. I've sat him in 2 of those 3 weeks. So all that said, we need 25 out of Smitty tonight. Smitty, this is your opportunity. You can become GOATed. You can be the reason, the singular reason, that we no longer talk about A.J. Brown and we take down the 3-headed monster, which all we need is a miracle. So we're shooting for that. But there's obviously a much better than not chance that Jack ends up beating me here. And all we need is a miracle. All of our chips, everything is on the Slim Reaper tonight. Hopefully it's a shootout at Green Bay, although I'm kind of doubting it. So, Smitty, go do your thing.
Adam's still got 1 guy left to play. So who is it? Devontae Smith. Fuck Devontae Smith, bro. Jalen Hurts, don't you dare throw it to Devontae Smith.
Jack most likely going to beat Adam unless Devonta Smith has a monster Monday Night Football. Around the league, Casey is going to take care of Gut here. He's going to probably stay 3rd in points for him. Maybe Joe's going to pass him. But, good win for Casey. He's still not going to make the playoffs with how strong his division is. He might actually be mathematically eliminated, but I would be very shocked if he was a contender for the Toilet Bowl winner. I think he probably gets out of there pretty quickly.
Casey's going to win. He's going to be 3-7 then. Probably still 3rd in points for.
Casey's going to continue to be 3rd in points for. All right, boys, checking in. This is a late one on me. First quarter Monday Night Football. Barring an absolute disaster, I moved to 3-7, and the playoff hopes are alive. The team continues to be one of the best in the league. I'm going to put up around 130, 140 this week. We'll still be 3rd in points for. Not sure if that was covered last week, but if it wasn't, just want to make sure it's known that I'm 3rd in points for this week. And yeah, the playoff race is not dead. I need Tony lost, Nick won. I think J-Mo lost. Oh, him and JL are in it right now, 60-40% right now. If JL wins and J-Mo moves to 7-3, I'm still alive. I think if both Nick and J-Mo win, I'm out. So yeah, playoffs aren't dead. Guts team put up a good fight, but it sucks per usual. But 120 is a pretty good score. So I don't have much to say other than the fact that I think I'm 3rd in points for. Oh, and of course, Parker Washington. Everyone clown me, J-Mo this, J-Mo that.
Parker Washington.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because he eats targets in the red zone.
That makes me want to not do the boat.
Don't put him in the fucking Bozo parlay. Cashed twice for that, obviously. Yeah, I'm the greatest. And some people are going to get mad for saying that, but some are saying the Settlements built two of the best teams in the league this year. So, Snapback Settlement draft guide coming very, very soon.
But Gut, though, that's a lot of losses you're up to now, Gut. 1-9. His running backs are atrocious. His team isn't horrible. He's got some good pieces, but he just keeps on losing. And I mean, he's running out of opportunities to come away with some victories here down the stretch.
Another week, another L. It just is what it is at this point. I know in the preview they were talking about like, oh, my wide receivers aren't good. I felt like my wide receivers did great for me this week. Tez, I mean, getting the 2 touchdowns was obviously huge and bailed me out there, but Waddle's been a wide receiver 1 for the most part. Tep being my wide receiver 3 and technically my wide receiver 4 at this point with Puka in there when the whole lineup's in there, not off bye. I feel like it's a good wide receiver 3 to have right now, just like a consistent 10-plus points every week, just to guarantee have that floor. Ceiling play isn't really there, but again, he's a wide receiver 3. He's not my wide receiver 1 I'm relying on. Waddle has a great game. Tez has a great game. Debo finds the end zone, luckily to save his day, and Puka has his first floor game, which is hilarious that his floor game, outside of him getting injured, obviously, against Baltimore, but his floor game is 17 points, which is hilarious. But they blew him out, so he had his floor game there. The big talk really is Gadsden. Is he going to be healthy? By the time you're watching this, we might have an update. By the time I'm recording this, we don't have an update. He obviously goes out, drops 2 huge passes that would have been big chunk plays. So again, could have had a bigger day, but obviously falls down to 4 points there. And again, we do get Trey Benson back, so what's going to look like in my backfield is Trey Benson and Woody Marks, and I can finally get rid of JCM in that slot. Nonetheless, Casey's team played phenomenal this week. Outside of Sam Darnold had we got lucky and very unlucky at the same time. Like, JSN had a bad day and Darnold had a bad day. Like, if that happens, we should have been able to execute, but sadly we could not. Parker Washington had a punt return touchdown, which definitely helped his day. Outside of that, we're going to move on to the rest of the league. J-Mo looks like he's going to take down JL, but it's going to be close. I mean, I would feel pretty comfortable if I were him. Jordan Love still has to go against Goddard and Hurts. I mean, you feel like you can outscore Goddard and Hurts unless Goddard has some big touchdown day, which I don't really think so, but we'll see.
And our one sweat of the week, J-Mo taking on JL. I'm hoping for a J-Mo victory here, just so that my division mate loses. Still got to hope for them to lose, even though I'm out of it. This is going to be close. J-Mo, I know, is sweating this. He's probably not even going to watch the game because we just got back from Germany. I'm dead tired. He's definitely dead tired. There's no way he's staying up to watch this game. So we'll see what happens in the end. But I do like J-Mo's odds just slightly over JL here to win this week.
J-Mo, tight matchup actually. 130 to 111 right now. Projections 146 to 141 versus JL.
Steen's got another sweat tonight, which I feel horrendous for him because if I had to stay up tonight late to watch Monday Night Football, I might jump out the window.
Okay, just got back from Germany, and there's a chance I don't watch my Monday Night Football sweat, so I want to get in a confession. Here's the situation. I'm up 19 with Jordan Love versus Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert. Up 19 with Jordan Love versus Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert. I'm the only sweat in week 10 so far. All the other matches are pretty much locked up. And my game matters because Tony losing, if I can win, that is massive for my position in the division. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to lock up this dub, and then I'll talk about playoff odds. Then I'll talk about the division standings. But right now, we need to manifest good vibes, manifest more love for Jordan Love, and get the job done. I don't know if I'm going to watch the game. It is 3:45 p.m. now. I've been up about since 11 p.m. yesterday, if you do the math. But when you don't see any me laying in bed reactions, screaming out manifestations, because I'm literally snoozing and I'll check in the morning. Besides that, good matchup with JL. There's like a couple things that I am annoyed about, like George Halani stealing a touchdown from Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. I literally have both of them to avoid that, and it still happened. But at the end of the day, that's just how fantasy is. You get some breaks, you get some tough cuts. So we'll see.
Moving forward, JL, Jackson Dart. Don't know really what happened to him, but Jackson Dart put up 26 points, and then he died.
If JL wins, that makes their division really interesting.
What up, baby boys? JL from the Big Cavs of Destiny here. It is Monday morning, week 10, and I wish I didn't have to say this, but we got another sweat tonight. This time, It's against J-Mo Steen, the powerhouse, the 7-2 powerhouse J-Mo Steen. And I hope you're ready. I hope you got your undies ready because it's about to get wet in here. We got to win. Eagles versus Green Bay. Philadelphia versus Packers. It's not looking the best for us. It's not looking the absolute best for us, but last week looked worse. And we won last week. So I'm gonna focus on that piece. J-Mo, he's got the luck of the gods on his side. If you haven't been following this league for more than a season, you might not know, but J-Mo's just got the luck, bro. He's just got it. Some say he's got the Mickey Mouse roster this year. Some say he doesn't deserve that 7-2 record. And I say they're probably right. They're probably right. But that's not my place to say. We're just the Cavs of Destiny here. That's all I got control over. And this week, the Cavs of Destiny, they're giving us a shot. Last week, Brock Bowers gave us the shot. We did not have a shot until Brock came back. This week, Brock went to sleep. 3.7 points on Thursday night from Brock Bowers. That whole Raiders offense was ugly, disgustingly ugly. But it's okay. We had some bright spots on the roster this week. Jackson Dart did amazing. He's turning out to be an incredible fantasy quarterback outside of his head getting smooshed and getting concussed. But I'm hoping that Jackson Dart does come back if not this week, then next week, so that we have him for the playoffs, which we are definitely going to make for sure, especially after we win tonight, right? Yeah, you might be wondering, oh, JL, you already said you started Brock Bowers. Or why are you starting Dallas Goedert too? Well, we needed to. The bench did nothing. Those motherfuckers did not score more than 10. Not a single one of them scored more than 10 points this week. So, Dallas Goedert, please impress me. Please impress me. Stephon Diggs did amazing. Jameson Williams did amazing. J-Mo's team just got super lucky. He's got the luck of the gods on his side. Just some random fluke performances. I mean, he had Emeka Egbuka finally bounce back and do well, 23.5 points. Chris Olave, 21.4 points, second best performance of his season. And then Alec Pierce, it's like freaking chum he picked up off the waiver wire a couple weeks ago, drops 18.4 points. You fucking kidding me, Alec? And then Jawan Johnson, tight end that J-Mo starts after getting Tucker Kraft, who was amazing all season. He picks up Jawan Johnson, and Jawan Johnson drops 19.4 points on me. Bro, what the fuck? I'm so sick of this stupid game. I love it though. I can't stop playing it. I can't stop. All right, big Cavs of Destiny are out. Week 10 sweat, Monday Night Football. Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert. Please cook. Please. Best of luck. It is Tuesday morning. Week 10 has just wrapped up. Our Monday Night Sweat is over. And this one is a very wet L. Very wet L against J-Mo in this Monday Night Football sweat. The third one in a row for the Cavs of Destiny, I might add. The third in a row. No bye, no break, no nothing. 3 Monday Night Sweats in a row. My underwear is soaked, boys. Oh, projected to win. Everybody on the couch gives you the dub, and then you lose by 6 points. It's very disappointing. Oh, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts forgot how to play football last night, apparently. That was maybe one of the worst games I've seen in a while. It was just tough to watch. Maybe you could argue that maybe I'm just biased. Maybe I wanted Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert to score a lot of points when they weren't. I got a bad attitude, and you'd be right. But what happened? The Philadelphia Eagles offense is supposed to be a powerhouse. Jalen Hurts has gotten 20 points every single week all season. 12 points. It's got to be that's his lowest score all season. Right when we needed it most, Jalen. Right when we needed it most.
All right, it's about 7:45 in the morning. I woke up and I got the W last night, and there was just like never a doubt. It's like never a doubt when you believe in your team, when you positively praise your team, and when you face JL. Jordan Love put up 7 points. JL needed 26 points to beat me between his first overall pick and the tight end 4, and he couldn't even do that. Like, you needed 26 points. 26 points between your first round pick and the tight end 4, and you couldn't get that done. Kind of embarrassing, some are saying. But we're on to 8-2. Tony lost is 5-5, which is massive for the divisions. A lot would I'm not gonna lock up anything until like I've officially clinched, and Unk's like right on my ass. I lose 1 game, Unk's ahead of me. He's got the points for, but this is exactly what I needed this week. An L in the division and a dub for me.
And Jordan Love, I mean, he didn't do great either. He got barely 8 points, but it was enough. Oh my God, this sucks. But it could have been worse, and it's fine. It's not over yet. The rest of the division mates all lost. Yeah, Woke Division for sure. At first, I was a little offended that they named us the Woke Division, but then I looked at the standings, and it makes sense. It makes sense. We're definitely the Wokes out of the group. But that's fine. All the rest of the Wokes, L's. We got a unanimous L this week from all the Wokes, and I'm happy to see it if I'm not going to get a dub. Then if I'm not going to get a dub, I want all my division mates to also have a bad week. Call me toxic, I don't care.
Also, one more time, fuck Casey. Like, damn, your team is so good. But, like, it's actually impossible for you to make the playoffs. So, a shame. Real shame. Shout out Jordan Love, though. Anytime I've needed him on primetime, anytime I've needed Jordan Love on primetime, he's done just enough. Just enough. I don't care he put up 7 points. I don't care his worst fantasy week of the year. He did what I needed. Thank you.
Outside of that, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. All sort of fun shit down below per usual, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.